Once we get through that acknowledgement and we've made it through that part of the process, now we've got to start preparing. What do I mean by that? One, by asking God first. The reason being, whenever we make a big decision in life, we need to go to God first. This is a big decision in life. It's like changing jobs. It's like choosing where you're going to school, choosing who you decide to marry. This conversation is one of those conversations that you call the conversation of your life. When I ask God about an important decision, there are two things that come into play: prayer and getting into the Word. We want to know fully that God is with us on this decision to pursue our dads. But when I take the time to get into God's Word, what I'll do is I'll specify a period of time. Let's say I've got 3 weeks when I'm making a decision on a job change. I want to exit the one that I'm in now, make a transition into a new one. I'll say, Lord, I've got 3 weeks. I'm going to pray without ceasing like you've taught me to do, but I'm also going to get into the Word for 30 minutes, 3 days a week for the next 3 weeks as I make my decision. And what I'm looking for is your help to make it. And what I've found when I do that is that I get an answer. When we do that, we put ourselves in this awesome place that says, Jesus, I want you along for the ride. Because if you're going to do this conversation right, you are going to need Jesus to come along on the ride. Shall I go and attack the Philistines, it says. Shall I pursue after this band? He's referring to the Amalekites. Shall I go up into any of the cities of Judah? Literally asking God, and God's going to give him a yes or no answer. Yes, you should, or no, you shouldn't. That excellent example encourages us. Let's inquire of the Lord and get into his word. Now we've got to think about our dads, because our approach will matter in every way. When I'm trying to win a conversation, every word matters. But first, before you break through to your dad, you've got to break through his defensive line. You all know what a defensive line is. They're down on their hands, white knuckling it, ready to pop and get in the face of the offensive line because they don't want anyone making it through their hole, because they're not going to let a hole get created. If they do, boom, someone's going through trying to get to the end zone. Our goal is to get to the end zone. The end zone is a conversation with your dad. If I come straight to my dad and say, Dad, I want to talk about our relationship, and I'm that direct, that defensive line's going to go up. You ever watch defensive line train? A defensive line coach that's really good will never stop telling the guys to use their hands. Someone comes with a low hand, it'll be like, hands up, because when you pop off and you put your hands up, it's first hands on the other person, on the opponent, that gets the upper hand to shove them out of the way and get to the quarterback. We want to keep making it closer and closer to the opportunity to get a conversation with our dad. That's the whole outlook in preparation to win that conversation. Because I can tell you that if it's mishandled, you may never get that opportunity again. And if I ruined it from the start, he's not going to give me another shot. I want to make sure I get a shot. I want you to get a shot at having this conversation with your dad. The cool part is, all it requires of you is to think it through. The same thing goes for your dad. What you're essentially doing is gathering intel. How I know they're competitors? Because I did the research. How do I know how they lost money? I did the research. I had the conversations. I know what's going on in the industry. Same thing goes with your dad. The more you know about your dad, the more you can tell how to approach your dad. I'm sure you can think of a few people right off the bat of who you could approach. Think of it. Mom's one, his best friend's another. What about the guy he talks shop with, goes to games with, plays golf with? You could approach any one of those people and say, how do I approach my dad? I want to have a conversation with my dad about this. He might have very key insight for you because of the fact that it is so sensitive, that your words and your approach matter because of the strong pride we have as men. We don't want anyone telling us what we didn't do. We want people telling us what we did do. And we don't want dad's defensive line popping up. As soon as it pops up, they are not going to want to let you through.